My revivers, how are you guys doing tonight? Tonight is a live and I have a special guest that surprised me. I did a video on my other channel a couple minutes ago, like literally I had my notes and everything, what I was going to do for tonight. And I said, you know what? Oh, you want to surprise me? I got a surprise for you. Why don't you go live and we talk about your story? So we are here with my family member. I say family member because I feel like I just hate seeing subscriber. We've been knowing each other and literally talking to each other for over a year. And I remember the first time we talked on the phone. I don't know how it happened, but she was just like, you said you really called me or something. You said, I said, why wouldn't I?
I'm doing my little video and you told me how to clean the mirror. You was like, girl, this how you do it with the kaboom. And I was like, kaboom,
okay.
Camille. And then the email.
Okay.
Then the phone number. And then boom.
Did you call me or did I call you? I think I called you. I think you sent me your number because you didn't want to. Yeah, and she didn't want. She thought it would be weird to ask for my number. So she, yeah, she gave me her number and I called her and she was like, "Hello." I was like, "This is CPR for the body." You called me.
Oh my God.
It's like, okay. I say, yeah. She's like, I just know, like, I can't believe that. Like, I'm talking to you on the phone. I'm like, I am down to earth. That's just who I be. And ever since that day, I have taken her in and we talk like a couple times a day. So, I just thought this was so perfect. This was so freaking perfect, guys, because she been through something that's very traumatic and it's something that I always talk about. It's something that I always talk about. And I asked her, was she willing to share? And she said she was. So what I'm going to say is she had when I met her, she had 3 children, 3 girls. Now she has a little boy and he is so freaking adorable. I was just holding him until I had to do my live. So her family came with her. She actually came up here to surprise me for the Queen's Mingle I'm having Saturday. They got a hotel room and everything and they're going to be here for 4 days. I was like, girl, oh my gosh. So I'm all excited, right? So it's just weird when I met her. It's just like we've been knowing each other for so long. So yeah, I met her on YouTube. She's not from here and she drove almost 7 hours to be here and surprise me for my Queen's Mingle. And I'm just like, that right there made me feel so good. And she brought her whole family with her. Yeah. So she went through a situation where she ended up having multiple strokes. Multiple. Like, how many did they say you had?
Multiple.
Lots. Like, it wasn't even, they couldn't even, you know how most of the time they'll say, oh, you had 3, 4. Like, she had multiple strokes. And how old are you?
I am 32 years old.
32? You forget how old you. She's 32.
That's the strokes, you know.
At this time, she was a single mom or whatever, and working like crazy. And I will always say, girl, like you're doing hair, you got a job at a salon, you're doing nursing, I'm 2 nursing jobs and the salon, and she did dumpster diving. That was another thing we had in common because I like the dumpster dive. And I just felt like she was just doing so much. I hate to see our women just overwork themselves and have no balance. So, yeah, tell them a little bit about how that went for you and why you were overworking. What made you feel you had to overwork like that? And what made you feel like that was just how it was going to be?
Well, I have a 13-year-old daughter, and for the most part, I've worked to support her by myself. I really didn't have anybody that, like a good support system. So I had to work by myself, make sure I had the money to pay the bills, take care of my kids. I always had a goal to buy a house. I wanted to buy a house back when I was 25. That didn't happen. So, you know, I worked hard. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I want these kids to have a nice backyard. And I also feel like I made some mistakes along the way. And I wanted them to look up to me like, okay, my mom did this by herself and bought a house and did like that. So, like I said, that was my goal. I wanted something nice. And it was crazy.
Do you feel like you were trying to give your kids something you didn't have, as far as not saying like sometimes when we lack in something, we'll try to overcompensate as parents? Do you feel like it was something that you felt you're working hard all the time, working, even though you were away from your kids, do you feel like that was the thing to do in your heart when you were doing that? You felt like, this is it. I'm doing this. They're going to love me for this. They're going to understand why I'm doing this. How did you feel when you were working like that?
Yes, definitely. I worked for the kids. So my mom like, this is what I got to do, and they'll understand because I'm working. I'm not out dancing and
partying.
Partying. I'm working so I can get you guys a house. If it was me by myself, I'd get me a little 1-bedroom house or 1-bedroom condo, whatever. No, I wanted a raised ranch specifically.
Always say that. Yes.
With 3 bedrooms. Brooklyn's favorite color was hot pink. Phoenix was purple. They was gonna have their own room. I was gonna have my little situation set up. I knew how my living room, everything was gonna be.
Right. Until.
Yes. So I got my income tax. $10,000.
Yeah, and you were in the process of buying the house.
I put that money in the bank. I said, I work all these jobs. When people usually get the income tax, it's party. I said, in the bank. Got the house down payment. We'll do something smart. Make an investment. So I was working, so I didn't need to touch it. I was good at saving my money. People will tell you, but it was horrible. It was actually detrimental. I was saving my money. I'm like, yeah, I'm saving my money. I'm gonna buy this house. Yeah, I'm there. Well, we weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Me and my kids. I want to talk about penny pincher.
Nothing. Like, they didn't go nowhere. They didn't do anything. They never vacationed or anything. She was just working just to save money because she had a goal to buy a house. But I kept telling her, and I'm like, if I get close to you and I feel like we're building a bond and I consider you family, I want to hold you accountable. I don't have nobody to really hold me accountable like that. Me, I don't. So I see an opportunity to hold someone else accountable. A lot of times people can fall short because no one's holding them accountable. So as I begin to see her life and to see the things that she was going through, and when she was ready to buy a house, she called me. She's like, guess what? I got my money. I think I found a house. And I was proud of her because she's a single mom with 3 girls. And I'm like, yes, okay. And she would always call me. What you think about this? I'm about to send you a video. What you think about this? Like, when I say she calls me for everything, she calls me for everything. And I don't mind. And so, I'm walking her through it, and I tell the realtor this and don't do this and don't get this. And, tell her, because I've bought houses. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, guiding her through that. And in the midst of finding a house, which was one of her goals, she had a stroke. A bad stroke. And it was one where she didn't know she was having a stroke. She just thought she was tired. And when they found out she had, what you said, a blood clot?
You have a blood clotting disorder.
A blood clotting disorder. And that, along with something else, she just was doing too much. She wasn't resting. She was working all the time. Every time I talk to her, she's going to one of her jobs. If it's not one of her jobs, she was dumpster diving. If it wasn't dumpster diving, she went to the flea market for her 4th job to sell some of the stuff. Like, she was all, I said, what about your babies? Like, what about your kids? Until I literally start talking to her and letting her know, like, listen, I am not the type of friend that'll sit around and watch you sabotage yourself and watch you not have balance. I'm not. And so the more that she's seen that I was for her good and I was for her and making sure that she is accountable for what she's doing, because at the end of the day, these kids are all the kids have. Hello, how are you? She's all that her children have. So it was more like, listen, you got to get some balance. You cannot be working like this. You cannot. It's not that important to work this much, and you're not doing anything. I can see if you had some type of benefit or something that you was reaping versus just saving money like crazy. Okay, you got more than enough for a down payment. Oh, fool. I think that's one of those boiled eggs. More than enough of your down payment, and more than enough of yes, it is. It's going great. She has more than enough money for her down payment, and it was just like, okay, have you ever took your kids anywhere? Have you ever vacationed? And the funny part about it is her surprising me was her first step. She said, what did you say about coming here? Because I was like, oh, okay, like, what you say about coming here? Like, for you, when I was like,
oh. I lost my vacationing virginity.
Yeah.
Because, Camille, it was funny. I was trying to be cheap, y'all. I was like, Camille, let's do this on the budget. She said, girl, you better live. You almost died. You better live.
Right.
I was like, you know, you're right. You know, you're right. Okay, so let's. Camille got the hotel together. You know what I'm saying? She's like, girl. Well, actually, she told me.
I basically told her how to do. Listen, if you ever get a hotel, you do it like this. If you ever do this, you like guiding her through stuff that she didn't do. It wasn't normal to her. Hey, you need to get a hotel. This is how you do it. You need to get this. This is how you do it. Like everything that she do, and it makes me feel good because she'll do it and she'll be like, yep, I did it. It worked. Or, yep, I did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how our relationship has been. And just for her to come and be here and surprise me like that was like, wow, she really is taking a step. So now she's ready to do something different. I said, once you make that first step, it'll feel so freeing. Like, okay, I'm getting closer to changing my life. Literally, your change is in your hands. Like, your change is in your hands. Like, anything that's given to you, it has to be put in your hands. You get what I'm saying? No matter what it is, anything that is given to you has to be put in your hands. If it's given to you, it's in your control. So you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. And if you have or don't have somebody that's holding you accountable, you need to find somebody. And if you do, pay attention. And take heed, because it will help you to not fall or not to be complacent or get comfortable or get lax, because all it takes is that one uncomfortable step to be made. And then you're like, okay, now I want to do something else. It's just like inspiring.
I'm going to the Bahamas next week, y'all. Camille, how that cruise go?
Right.
Camille. I was like, really? I gotta take a plane to New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or Miami. It depends on. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Hold on. I need to get a calculator, my dear.
Yeah. But it's like she didn't want to. She didn't want to. She didn't like everything was it was a hesitation, but not in a bad way. It was a hesitation of uncomfortable. Yeah.
But I was just like, well.
She was counting everything. I said, listen, unless you have to struggle, you don't struggle on purpose. Now, it's the difference between a sacrifice, but a sacrifice, there's an end goal or there's a purpose. You can come on vacation, live a little bit, go out to eat, go somewhere you've never been. You get what I'm saying? That's the purpose. You don't go vacation to go struggle. You don't go on a vacation struggling. Hey, how are you, Maria? You don't go on a vacation to struggle, or you don't go and do these things and struggle while doing them, or have multiple sacrifices during them.
See, I know a few people that do that, though. You know.
This girl was bringing her rice cooker, her hot plate, and what else?
My soul stuff.
Did you bring it?
No.
You didn't. None of them. So if I go to your hotel room, none of those 3 items are with you. She was bringing all of that. I said, okay, now wait. Are you planning on living in the hotel room while you're here? Huh? No. You have to have balance. With balance, that's why everything is planned. When something is planned, it usually doesn't go awry, and it usually doesn't get all faltered and messed up because it's planned. I know I want to go on vacation. I know I have this much to spend. I know I want to do this, that, and the third for the time that I'm there. It's planned. No struggle, and you ain't got to sacrifice. I wish people would understand the difference between a struggle and a sacrifice. Sacrifice is a choice. A struggle is something you got to go through because you done been unbalanced for so long in some area in your life. So you have struggles, whether it be relationship struggles, whether it be financial struggles, career struggles. Struggles come because of choices that you made, and they may not be good ones. Sacrifices are choices that you make to struggle for a minute. Get what I'm saying? So yeah, just having her here, the fact that she said, okay, now I'm going to live more. I say this, and y'all hear me say this so much. You know when you were born, everybody knows that, but we don't know when we're going to die. Are you going to work all the time, overtime, and all of your time away from your children just to give them what you didn't have or what you feel they should have? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A friend of mine was talking, me and her were talking, and she said something, she made a good point. We were saying about how a lot of times we be like, oh, my kid's going to have this, that, and the third because my mama ain't do that or my daddy ain't do that. Mm-hmm. No. If, and I'm going to put this out there to you, say you got a kid or a grown-up who's grown now with children who grew up in a situation where their parents were crackheads or their parents were locked up or anything like that. So they know the struggle of a child who hardly gets nothing, or if they get something, it's always being sold, or mama having different men in out the house, or seeing people do drugs late night, or just not having any stability, any love, anything that represents a loving, nurturing home for a child. You as a child coming out of that situation, now you may be educated, you may have children and everything, and you know all the things that your parents did not give you. That does not mean that your child need those same things. Your child does not need the same thing. Why? Because your child has not experienced the things that you have. So don't try to fill voids because you are voided from something you miss. Figure out what your child need from you, because your child never, my children don't know nothing about a light being turned off, or a struggle with food, or a struggle with certain things that kids don't need to know about. And parents that take care of their business hide that, or maybe keep it from them, because it shouldn't have to affect the child. They didn't ask to come here. Everybody's struggle is different. Everybody sacrifices differently. You do not have to give your child everything you didn't have. What you need to be trying to give your child is everything you were not taught. If you know those things would make you better, you know they will make you a better adult, you know that they will make you basically excel in so many different areas of your life, then that's where you should be focused at. Because usually it's common sense that all humans gonna need that. All humans gonna need love. All humans gonna need nurturing. All humans gonna need accountability. All humans gonna need goals. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever those things are that you feel that are needed to bring up a productive, stable-minded adult, that's what you need to give your child. Common sense things. You get what I'm saying? Not every Jordan, every this, every that they need to go to. They got to do everything. No, that's not how it works, because those things, those kids will not remember. They won't remember it. They will not remember those things, and you will have taken away 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours of their lifetime and yours, because when you are away, you're taking it away from them as well, because there's no time for y'all to bond, and you can't get that back. You cannot get that back. So since you can't get it back, find out who your child is. Find out what your child likes. Find out how you need to nurture them and give them everything they need for their personality and their characteristics. Not everything that your mama and daddy did not do or give you, because it's not the same. Because your child is not growing up in that situation where they need those things.
Or they could be in a situation like I was. My parents had houses. They had the things. So
right.
I was like, oh, now my kids don't have it. So I think that also pushed me to do things too.
Okay, so you feel that because you had it, that you want to make sure they have it too.
It made sense.
It makes sense to you.
Because it's like, if I didn't have it and I want them to have it because I didn't have it, so if I had it,
they should have it.
Yeah, it's like.
I feel what you're saying. Now, question. If you can rewind your life and think about all those things that you did have, the big houses, the big cars, and all the fancy stuff, you know, because I know your mom real fancy in her house. And I've seen that huge house. So is there anything that you could say that you were lacking, even though y'all had the big fancy houses? To the outside eye, it was like, oh, y'all doing great. What would you say? You see what I'm saying? What would you say?
Well, a better relationship with my mother, because I also feel like she would be the one to judge me if I didn't give. She'd be the one to point out to me, you had this.
So they need to have it.
Why they ain't got it?
Right.
I provided this for you. And, oh, you got the kids, and you just gonna rent forever? Like,
right.
So
kind of make you feel like you're not the type, you're not doing what you should as a mom because you're not doing what she did. Basically, which is not cool, because where you live and how much love you have to show your child has nothing to do with where you stay. I've met so many kids who are so loving and grew up to be like awesome kids who stayed in shelters, who stayed with family all the time because there weren't some people literally go through some struggles, not sacrifices, some struggles that they just can't get it right. You get what I'm saying? They just can't get it right. And who are we to judge? Because a lot of us can't get a lot of stuff right. I'm trying to get my weight loss thing right. I'm trying to get that right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm struggling with it. I'm going to be real with you. I'm struggling with it because I like to eat. But anyways, y'all know I keep it real. What I'm saying is that does not determine if you're good. I know millions of houses, you know what I mean, where you have these big fancy houses and behind the closed doors, the little girls being molested, the little boys being molested, they're being abused, they're being talked to and shunned because at the end of the day, the parents are trying to build a facade for the outside world to accommodate what they're not doing inside that house to make people think that they're great parents when that child is living in void. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, how many times you grab your daughter and you hug her and kiss her and tell her I love you and tell her you're beautiful and tell her you can do anything and if you ever need to talk to me, whatever. Those right there, those are the moments that will come to their mind when they happen to have situations that make them feel down. They're not going to remember how big their bedroom is. They're not going to remember how big the house was. They're not going to remember how much silverware mommy had and how much entertainment supplies they had when they hosted people at their house. Kids will not remember that. But that time you sat down and gave them that talk about, listen, I want you to be the best you can. And I'm not going to let you lack, and I'm not going to allow you to not give it your all. Those type of talks, that don't cost nothing. And I don't care how much money you have. It does not change a person. Your money cannot change your child. You get what I'm saying? Your money cannot. Your personality, your communication, your delivery, and the way you interact with that child will. And that right there, a lot of people do that as well. Mm-hmm. They do that as well. Oh, I'm gonna give my kid this because I had this. Well, and then I'm gonna give my kid this because I didn't have this. So it's like, are you trying to figure out exactly what the kid wants, or are you trying to figure out what they need according to what you did or didn't have, right? Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Exactly. It's crazy. It's really crazy that so many people do that. And it's sad because if you could talk to a lot of these kids, like it's sad when my kids have friends over and their friends are like, oh, I wish I can stay here. Oh my gosh, it's so fun here, or your family is so this, or whatever the case may be. It's like that little ounce of love makes the kid just want to forget their whole family. That's not cool. It's really not cool. But this is the life we live in. But this is why I want to share positivity and get my sisters together and teach them things. I need people to teach me things. I don't know everything. And I want to teach whatever I can and be there to help hold my sisters accountable for whatever it is they need help with. Because do y'all not realize I can sit on here and show you a million cute things that I bought, but at the end of the day, how many people are watching me that need help, that are struggling with a child that's rebellious, or struggling with a spouse, or struggling with a sibling, or struggling with a parent, that they just can't get it right, and their life is just like all over the place, and they're stressed. It's causing sickness, or they don't know where to turn and how to start and how to begin. I want to be someone to help change that, because if you change one person, true change changes generations from this point on. You get what I'm saying? True change changes generations. And that's what we want. And it starts from one person. Just one person. Just one. So since me and you been knowing each other, or you and I, however you want to say it, been knowing each other, you and I, me and you, been knowing each other, how do you feel that your life has changed as far as your frame of thinking about balance? And how do you feel about working? Like if somebody came and gave you 3 good jobs right now, 3, because you was working 3, almost 4, 5. Would you accept them? Would you accept them?
No.
Why? Why?
Camille love the kids. I'm like, I also love the kids too.
Yeah.
I have enough of them. But
girl.
No. I saw the light. I see the light. That you gotta live. And
right.
Definitely that balance was not there. Yeah, I got money. Mommy, can we go to Chuck E. Cheese? Oh, shoot.
But because you overtired. You too tired. You got money, but you're too tired to do anything.
I literally was figuring out if I can go to Chuck E. Cheese, lay on that table and sleep, and they run around because we got the little stamp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's my kids. Nobody else can take them kids
Right.
here. But I was like, darn it, Phoenix, watch your sister, because I'm gonna be at this table sleep.
Right.
You know,
And she has, literally. I'm like, so
movies.
y'all went to Chuck E. Cheese and you fell asleep on the table and your oldest just kept an eye on the little ones. And that's how life is for some people. Or you go to movies and you sleep. Because she's doing it, but she's not interacting.
Mommy, you saw that part?
No.
I was asleep.
Right.
That's why my coat was backwards. I was knocked out.
Yeah. How does it make you feel to like look back at how much you was working? How do you feel about the fact that you did it?
Well, it's funny because I also feel like
hello, how are you, Rose?
Hello. I've been told God did that too. Stop me in my tracks. Like,
okay.
Pause. It was like a wake up call. The stroke. Yeah, and I couldn't even go to work.
I think the stroke was like, that had me like, oh my gosh, yeah.
I was going crazy because the doctor said, you cannot go to work. We will not allow you to go to work. I'm like, what? What you mean? No.
Right.
Wait, but my bank account though.
Yeah, I was like, forget your job. Nope. I was just trying to see if they still gonna have me on the schedule in a couple weeks. Girl, you just had a stroke. Are you serious? Like, so into working, so into, I think I'm good. I can get back up and I can go back and I can work because I don't want to lose my job. But you'll lose your life and your kids will lose you because you want to work so bad. And you told me something about, it was more so also of you want to give them what you feel they should have because you had it. But you also said stability. It's only her. You know what I'm saying? It's only her. At that time, it wasn't, her and someone else. So everything was all on her. Everything was all on her. And a lot of times, that's like even the worst. It's like the kids are already brought down to one parent. And then that one parent has to work all the time, overtime, and all their time away from the kid. How do you find balance? How do you find balance?
You don't.
Can you?
Yes.
You can, right?
You can.
But you don't because what? Why don't you think you was able to find balance before I was like, in your ear, like, no, you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Well, I gotta be honest. Also, while you were letting me see the light, the truth, like, girl, it ain't working. Everybody else was cheering me on, like, girl, you work so hard. You're the hardest worker I know. Oh my God. Ain't nobody got more jobs than you. You like, no, you right. Yeah, and I'm doing it. And then you feel like you're doing something because you're working. Like, I'm not doing anything.
And people
negative.
patting you on the back.
They
was
patting me on the back. They was pushing me. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. I'm going to give you a boost. Go ahead, work. Do that.
Well, we were going to be real. Those people that were pushing you are the same people that always did this. And they weren't working hard at all. Do you see what I'm saying? The same people that pushed you and never thought about your children or had enough love for you to think about the deeper situation. There was the same people going like this, or can I get a ride, and don't got no gas money. And she don't know how to say no. Yeah. I have to be like,
I'm working on it, but
tell her no, tell her you can't. She'll be on the phone and somebody will call and I'm like, tell her no, tell her you can't. Like I'm a mama because I cannot stand when people take advantage of people. It just, ooh. And it's like, those people that just all they look for is how they can get something for free. It's always, oh, can you do this for me? Because I truly need it. But then it's like, oh, okay. Well, can you buy me the next week after they did it? Well, can you buy me this dinner? Remember I did? Come on. I don't need nobody around me like that because I ain't always going to have it to give it back to you and you may not always have it to give it back to me. And if I truly am your friend, it shouldn't be about like, it shouldn't even be like this. It's just if it's a need and it really truly is a need and I need you, I'm going to be there for you. Mm-hmm. And you should be there for me. But I'm always there for you. And I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. And I'm by myself. And here you are getting and asking of me. And I just try to tell her she need to reevaluate.
I know. I was about to say you had me reevaluating friendships. I was like, darn,
yeah, you have to reevaluate because people always always want a handout.
Darn it.
You said I did what?
I'm gonna answer the phone now. I'm gonna change my number.
I told her, I said, once you say no once, and I don't think you did it yet, did you? With that one situation. No. I don't think she did it yet.
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
I don't think you did. Because we was talking about it. I don't think she has yet. And the funny part...
I didn't say yes either, though. I didn't say yes either.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. I just told her, just say no. Just say no.
But no, I really got clarity on that because I needed, you did show me the light. I was like, ooh, oh. And if it was somebody, it's funny because if it was somebody else, if it was happening to you, I'd feel the same way. But for some reason, when it happens to me, I'm like...
Right. Don't know what to say. Yeah.
Like, I'm the type of person, if somebody's messing with somebody, I will turn into a mama bear, defend them, whatever. But then if it's happening to me, I just turn the other cheek.
Yeah. And you can't because that's when people know, oh, I can get over on her. Oh, I can do whatever. She's not going to even, she's not going to budge. She's going to say yes. Or I can make her feel bad and she'll say yes. And I don't like people like that. I'm sorry. I've told her she has people in her areas, whatever, circle, whatever you want to call it. And I can't do them because I feel like you don't have any children and I do, and you got more time on your hands and you don't work and I do. And and it's just an imbalance. It's an imbalance. And sometimes you just need to be by yourself because I feel like who's for you and what the creator wants you to have as far as friends, people, or whatever, he'll bring them to you. He'll bring them to you. Don't even worry about it. If it hurts them so bad that they don't want to be around, then that's why they were around. Just because you cut them off from whatever it is they've been getting, that's the only reason why they was around. But if you care to know the truth, that's the only way you're going to find out is by saying no. Don't have it.
Having Camille on the phone as they ask you for stuff. Like,
yeah, because,
like, you know what? You're right. Dang, man. You're like, I want this back. I know Indian giver, but can I have my stuff back?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's so not worth it. Especially when you're trying to figure things out in your life for yourself and trying to figure out how you want to transform your life and get balance. You can't have people who imbalanced. They whole life is not, it's just set up of give me what I can have, handouts. They don't have anything to offer you really. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because everything that they give is always got to be reciprocated by you. Mm-hmm. That's not, I don't want that because I'm like, okay, so what am I have to give her for her watching my baby for me while I went to the doctors to get my checkup for my stroke? Or what, you get what I'm saying? Like, really, if you're my friend, why are you going to feed me? Because remember I watched the kids for you when you went to the hospital? Really? Are you serious? I said, you better be glad you don't live close to me. Like, literally. Because I think I would be the one. Like, she ain't your friend. Y'all not friends. Get out. I'm that one. I will come to the house. Let me clear this out. And
the phone be on speaker.
Yeah. Yeah. She done with you. She done with you. I can't do you. She's not going to do you anymore. It's over. I cannot stand people taking advantage of people. I cannot stand it. It irritates my inner soul. It irritates it. And yeah, so, but she has to stand up for herself. She has to stand up for herself. I'm glad she took this trip and I'm glad that she's here and we're going to have fun this weekend. I'm just glad that I was able to enlighten her to see things differently and to want to change. Because I don't think that if I didn't come around because of the type of people, friends that she has or those people, nobody would have told her she was overworking because those were the ones that was telling her, girl, you good. You a true Jamaican. You got all these jobs and all this. You get what I'm saying? And not looking at how it's affecting her children and her family. That's not cool at all. Look at Naya. So I don't think that if I didn't come into her life for a reason, the way it happened, I think she would probably still be trying to work all those jobs and have been back to work by now. But she ended up having a little one, so God is good. She ended up having a little one, and he is the cutest little thing. So, yeah. So I'm glad for her to be able to share that with you guys as far as the fact that she was just working so much that she didn't even know that she stroked out multiple times. Yeah.
at the little zoo. Oh, girl, you young, you healthy. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You only how old was I? 31. You only 31 years old, girl. You don't drink. You don't smoke. Went to the doctor.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you had multiple mini strokes. I was like, what? Excuse you? You said strokes plural. I was like, wow.
Yeah. She was feeling weird. You said you was feeling weird and you went and they sent you home and you had to go back. It was just really, it was crazy the way it all went down. But it was good the way it happened because they was able to catch them before they became like the real severe strokes. But just to have had them so young, that's not a good thing. So she definitely has to get some balance and not overwork and be stressed and worrying about stuff that she shouldn't be worrying about, because her kids should be her first priority.
You know, it's crazy, not to use that negative word. A lot of neglect was going on, just for me to keep it real.
Yeah.
I was neglecting my health, myself. You think about it, I had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Time for what? I had time to go home, take a shower. My daughter just got potty trained and she's 3. And she was in daycare 10 hours a day. My, just turned 3 years old.
Yeah.
She was in daycare from 6 weeks when she's allowed to be in there. And she just now got potty trained because I'm like, okay, here's the pull-ups. What would you guys need? You want underwear? Here's what you need. I was just buying what they needed, give it to the daycare. And I figured, okay, they'll teach her how to do it. And I love my kids with all my heart, and I do anything for them, and I feel like I live for my kids, but I missed some things.
You did. You was consumed with working. Like, she was real. I was irritated. I was like, girl, gosh, again? You just got off. You about to go where?
I'm gonna call you on my break.
Yeah. Oh, it was so
break.
It was so irritating. I said, you got to do better. This is just not cool. This is people will take from you until you learn to say no. You're right. Mm-hmm. You are right. Good evening, Valerie. Mm-hmm. You are so right. And so I think that she's starting to learn now. She just wants different in her life, and to be able to experience more with her kids, and her just whole tone of thinking and ways of her way of looking at everything is totally changed, which is A+. So hopefully, yeah, next time you hear from her or see her, it will be some great news on something else that they did, that they went out and just did it without a problem. Because I'm like, she want to go to Bahamas so bad. I done been there a couple times. I'm like,
like a true Jamaican, you know what I'm saying?
So hopefully that will, it can happen. I'm not gonna say hopefully, it will happen. And if you out there and you going through the same thing, or know somebody is going through the same thing, if you are able to help someone stay accountable in their life, a lot of people fall short, and a lot of people don't do things because they don't have anyone to hold them accountable. You need somebody to hold you accountable. You need to. Because if you don't express your goals or don't allow someone to know what they are, who knows if you reach them? Who knows if it's going to happen? Who knows if you're doing what you say you want to do? If you don't express that to someone who cares about you, that way they can keep you accountable for what it is you want. And these situations right here won't happen where you continuously in a whirlwind, you just going in circles and circles and circles, and nothing is changing. You're not getting no closer to nothing. You're just doing the same thing every day, all day, with no balance of fun. You have no real love going on. You have no real interaction going on with your spouse, with your children, or whoever it is that is very important to you in your life, because you're so consumed with trying to make things happen or make, you know what I'm saying, life different. As far as material wise, the way that y'all live differently. You trying to make that happen so bad that you are neglecting stuff that's important. Not because you don't love, but you're so consumed with that one thing versus having balance. You have to have some balance. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I hope you guys enjoyed it. She actually has a channel, but she took it down. and she's revamping her channel, and yeah, she's working on it. She's revamping her channel and everything, but I will keep you guys posted as well, so that way you can follow her channel and, you know, see what her life is about on that side on her channel. But I thought this was really awesome, and I thought this was something to really share. Hopefully at least one person can be touched, because that was silent, and she just thought she had a headache, and literally could have killed her. Could have killed her because she was working too much. And it's just so crazy. It's so many people out there like that. And they're bragging about working too much. Bragging about another double, another this, another that. And when they can, they'll do other stuff. You get what I'm saying? It's like life is set to the side because you're working. You're working all your life to set your life to the side to work all your life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this live, and thank you for sharing. And what advice do you have for young YouTube? You know what? I'm going to get you. You know advice I got for young YouTubers? Do positive things. My daughter is funny. I love you. And I'm about to get off this live in a minute. So she's just trying to be funny. I love you guys. I hope that you got something out of this live. Please share my channel. This channel is going to be more like this, about real life things like this. Oh, Nashawn. Hey, how are you, Nashawn? Thank you, ladies. You're welcome, Candace. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you share this channel, guys, please. And if you're sharing it, let me know. Do you want to be called CPR? That is fine. That is fine. I'm in the reviving business. I'm trying to revive my sisters and brothers any way, shape, or form that I can. Any way I want to revive. So, oh, Nashawn, well, you know, we have talks all the time, and I'm always teaching even the young people just positive things. Stay focused and realize that your time right now as a team is the building blocks and the foundation for what you're going to have in the future. Stay respectful and stay tuned to your goals, because anything is possible. The sky is not the limit. There's no limit to what you can have. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next Thursday. I don't know if it's going to be live or it's going to be an upload, but guys, please share this channel. Please share this channel. But you know I will be throwing positive trinkets throughout the week on this channel, because that's what I like to do. Send some positivity to hold you off through the week until you see my face again. All right, guys, I will talk to you in the next video. Later, Gators. And remember, stick to your script because you are the best at it. All right. You're welcome.